All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Professional Hippies. We are so excited to have Natasha and Victor here. Man, how long has this been in the works now?
Yeah, since we saw you, a little bit after we saw you last time.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're talking a couple years ago that I had the chance to go down to the jungle and meet Victor, Tarzan himself.
Yeah. Stories I've heard, you're Tarzan for sure up here.
And what I remember is walking through the jungle in Iquitos, Peru, by the way, for everyone that's not familiar with them. And Victor was just showing me all kinds of crazy stuff in the jungle. And ever since then, it's just been something that it's like a journey that's unfolded. So thank you guys so much for being on the show and
welcome, bro.
Giving us a chance to share this with the world. So if you don't know us, we're the Professional Hippies. If you don't know them, they're pretty much scatters of light and love and everything right. So what we're going to do is get into kind of their story, you know, where this all came from, you know, what you guys are looking to do, what you're looking to share. And our whole goal with this podcast, with this show, is ultimately to kind of bridge between the high achievers and the hippie woo-woo. So what I love about what you guys do is you integrate these two different worlds. You've had people come down that are looking to learn more about themselves, learn more about the world, and kind of reconnect. And so I'm excited to share that story. So before we get too much into that, we'll do our intro and get into it. All right, boys, let's remember our training. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends. We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
Well, that's going to be like what the people from this episode get. We got to let people know what they want.
So do we want to do it now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, people are going to be sitting on the edge of their seat for the whole time wondering.
That's what I wanted. I wanted them to wait the whole time.
Right.
Right.
So for last week's episode with Brian,
Yeah.
because we're a week ahead,
Yeah.
because we're professional.
That's right. We love making everybody wait.
Right. So this is for the lava lamp and plant. Remember, all you got to do, by the way, if you're enjoying the show, just like us, follow us, and if you want to win something, tag us on social media. So just screenshot whatever you're looking at, whether it's the video or on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, wherever you listen to us, and tag us on Instagram
Share
at
the
Colton
love.
DM or at Dylan Whidden, and then we'll tell you what you can win this week. But for last week,
Here we go. Let's see what it comes out to.
give the people what they want. Who is it? Stacy. All right, girl.
Good job, Stacy.
You got a plant. Is that what we call it?
Plant. We were calling the plant combo.
Plant. You get a plant and a lava lamp. All right. So, thank you so much for sharing
Thank
it,
you for sharing.
Stacy. And we'll tell you guys what we got coming up for this week. Actually, for Tyler's episode is where it's going to be the whole goodie bag bit.
Yeah, that'll be the drawing for next week.
Right. So for Tyler's episode, we're going to be giving away a goodie bag full of CBD.
Yeah.
Right. So
Interesting.
all you got to do
CBD coming your way.
is screenshot it, share it. You kind of get the gig. Anyway, so Natasha, Victor, thank you guys again. So
Yes.
we were talking about a little bit before the show. You guys are hopping back into the jungle June 7th,
Yep.
right? And so what is the name of, like, where can people find you? Like, what's the name of?
You can go to the name of the lodge is Cambo Jungle Expeditions, and you can go to CamboJungleExpeditions.com or loveanddavy.com, and we're on TripAdvisor.
And you guys are on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, on Facebook, Instagram. Facebook, same thing, Cambo Jungle Expeditions or Love and Davy. And Instagram, same thing, Cambo Jungle Expeditions.
And
Love
we'll
and
make sure
Davy.
to put all the links too.
Yeah.
Right there for you.
Sick. So we have a lot of questions from people. Should we just like start out with that and kind of
Yeah,
see where that
yeah.
goes?
Perfect. Let's do it.
Cool. So one of the questions that I got, it was kind of common, people either like private messaging me or commenting on Facebook, was how do you prepare? Like, how do you properly prepare yourself for something, say like ayahuasca or a combo, so you don't get hurt?
You
can talk about ayahuasca and
yeah.
talk about combo.
Okay, so for ayahuasca, you really should talk to your shaman. You really should talk to the retreat center because every shaman works with ayahuasca differently. The main thing is little salt, little sugar. You know, you have to really take care of what you're putting in your stomach because ayahuasca is working through the gut. So it's important what you're eating. You don't want to eat too much spicy, not too salty, not too sweet. Some shamans will say none at all. Some will say a little bit is okay. Almost all of them will say no pork. Pork is one of the heaviest meats to them. I always find that interesting that around the world, like, pork is so taboo. But the Shipibos also say the same thing, no pork. No sex. They want you to be with yourself. Concentrate on yourself and the journey that you're going to go on. So refrain from that. Those are the main things. But like I said, it really depends on your shaman and the center you're going to. You have to check with them. Every shaman works differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what is it about like that ayahuasca diet, like the shamans wanting you to refrain from like salt and sugar? Like, why those things?
Because ayahuasca works through the gut. It's working through your stomach. So you want your stomach as clean as possible. You want your stomach clean so that way ayahuasca can really have a chance to work for you. Yeah. Many shamans say don't smoke marijuana so much time before because ayahuasca is a jealous plant. She's jealous of other plants and she's not going to work with you. From experience, I can tell you from me and from other people that have shared with me, if you do smoke and you have ayahuasca, you're not going to be so open to visions. Sometimes that blocks when you have visions. So maybe when you drink, you're just going to have feelings or you're going to purge, but the visions might not be too strong. And that's not across the board. That just is with many people. I've heard this. Yeah, it's mainly the diet is important because you're drinking it, yeah, so it's working through your stomach.
Yeah. So, I mean, I remember that when I was going down there, that the ayahuasca dieta, you know, making sure that like you stick to that and the restaurants supporting that in Iquitos, especially.
Yeah.
Is Iquitos like the bread basket? Is that kind of where?
That they're known as the ayahuasca capital of the world.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ayahuasca in Iquitos.
Yeah.
A lot of ayahuasca centers. It's like
Closer
in
to-
Iquitos, it's like maybe in tourism. If we talk about tourism, like maybe 80% of tourists come because ayahuasca and cambo. Yeah, maybe 20 or 15% of tourists they come just to see the Amazon, animals, nature, flora, fauna. But most we are focusing ayahuasca and other plants medicine as well.
That was one of the things I was talking about. Like, I think one of the reasons why you gravitated towards me when I came down there is because I was asking about like all the psychedelic stuff. Like we're walking in the jungle and I'm like, this is cool, but like, what does that thing do?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, and there's so much stuff in the Amazon.
So much. We have like 19,000 species of trees where shamans, they can do diets. We have more or less like 7,000 species that they are unknown. So there are a lot of trees, a lot of nature that we should discover
I'm gonna go be with
How many species are out there where if you touch it, it's going to be a problem?
No, not really.
Okay.
You can do diet, most of them, especially if you want to try some psychedelics, like some plants with DMT. We have many of them, like chacuruna, we have mimosa, we have yopo, we have many type of plants with DMT. That's why most tourists, when they go to the jungle, they go to do these psychedelics medicines, natural medicines. No?
Is the plants there with DMT, is it going to be different than, let's say, if I go somewhere else in the world and find a plant with DMT? Is that experience going to be a little different than going down there? Is that why everyone goes there specifically? Maybe it's more pure?
Yeah, definitely. It's more pure. For example, if we talk about DMT, there are some people there that they concentrate in more the DMT. They use other plants like a mimosa, or they mix chacruna or wambisa that has all these plants has DMT, and they concentrate in more. And your experience with this DMT can be longer. Sometimes I try, oh my gosh, 45, 50 minutes sometimes, one experience. It's not like, for example, when I try here or in another countries, it lasts just 15 minutes max, no? But there they concentrate, it's more pure. That's the word, it's more pure.
And it goes into the preparation, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready?
It lasts longer to prepare it. Yeah.
How long does it take to, let's say you were preparing, you had a group there and you were preparing the ayahuasca. What's your preparation to get that ready there?
Your preparation
for the medicine.
For the medicine. You mean physically, what you should do?
Yes.
Okay, like Natasha was saying before, no? All the things that you shouldn't do or you shouldn't eat. And most people, they go there because PTSD, a lot. Most I saw that. So the first thing is that you should want to have this big change in your life and accept this medicine. To do ayahuasca is strong, it's hard sometimes. And ayahuasca always it changes. Sometimes one time you are going to have the most beautiful experience, just laughing, love, smiling, beautiful. But maybe the next day, if you do it again, it's going to take you to deep, dark. That's what the shaman said. Ayahuasca is giving you proof if you really accept her. Yeah. So you should be ready for that. For that, always we say to people to read. There are a lot of books. There are some pages in internet that you can read and be ready for this experience. Because a lot of people sometimes they think that go to the jungle, try ayahuasca, and they see like it's another new drug that they wanna try. But they realize when they try that one time, they don't want to do it anymore. Ayahuasca made them open their eyes, that they see that this is not a joke.
So this is, when you're going down there, this is it turns into a multi-day experience. So you're taking this, where a lot of people go there, they're wanting to take it multiple days, and some won't. They'll just stop with that first day. They're like, I'm done.
Yeah, there are a lot of people like that. But normally shamans, they do like a package, like sometimes there are packages of 10 days, 2 weeks. It depends, sometimes 1 week. And for example, in these 8 days, you can do like a 5 ceremonies, for example. That's very hard.
Wow.
That's very hard. Yeah. It depends. Sometimes people, they do it. Some people, they don't do it. They give up maybe in one or in the second ceremony. Yeah.
And people come out of it changed.
I can tell you, I saw maybe 75% people, they have this big change in their life when they come to do ayahuasca in the Amazon. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's very beautiful. It's helping a lot of people. A lot of people. Not only ayahuasca. We have cambo as well and many different plants. People come with terminal diseases, traumas. I saw a lot of people, they got cured. They got cured their diseases, their traumas. This medicine is amazing if you really go and accept with your heart.
When they're coming down there to you to take the medicine, are you consulting with them before they get there? Like, what have you gone through? What is it?
Always.
Tell me about your life to this point before you jump in.
So I'll tell you one thing that we do different. We don't have a site where people just sign up and come. We don't like that. We don't want to start that. We don't want to get involved with that. It's okay.
A little closer.
And
just keep in charge of Tarzan there. I keep moving it back for him.
Yeah. So we usually, people message us and ask us when we have retreats, and we we don't have set dates usually. We wait for somebody to say that they want to come. Okay, and then we're going to put it, and then we're going to add people and make it into a group. That's usually how we work. And always people are messaging us to come down. So I want that because we have that interaction, and I can find out why they want to come down, and I can figure out which shaman is going to work better for them, and I can figure out maybe if it's better for them to sit with ayahuasca or to do plant diets. Yeah, I don't know.
And just in case, by the way, if you're listening to this and you're not watching it, so you're getting a very authentic experience because it's tough to track these guys down. So we made it happen. You guys are in Mount Dora for how long? How long have you guys been here?
Not long more. We're just here until Thursday, and then we go to Spring Hill middle of April until the end of May.
Yeah, so you guys kind of will move from location to location, sharing medicines
In
and
the medicine.
yeah, and so we just happened to link up with you guys here, and so there's actually some ceremonies that have been taking place, right? Some training that have been taking place here, and so if you hear kids popping off, if you hear things in the background, just gotta work with us on that. But
Yeah, new mom, new family. We have another baby here now. He's a month and a half, and we're just in it.
month and a half already.
Month and a half, and then we have the other about to turn 2 in June.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you guys, you really like that experience with people not going through a commercial website,
Yes.
making sure that they're engaged and interacting with you. So there's more of a personal feel there.
Yes, it's very important. We want to know who it is that's coming, and we want to connect with them, and it's better this way. I don't want a surprise of who's going to show up, and I don't know what their intentions are or any of that. I like this. It feels more personal. If you go to these mom and pop restaurants and mom and pop shops, I feel like we're a mom and pop retreat center, and that's what I want. I'd love for it to stay that way always. It's just it feels good.
Yeah. And
It feels like family when we have people come over, to the center.
Yeah.
It feels like we're with family every time.
well, the amount of time that I've stayed in touch with you guys, that's how it's honestly always felt. That connection, it's a real connection, not to a center,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's knowing the people behind the place.
Yeah.
And I know you've put a ton of work into that place, right, Victor?
Oh my God! When you
Yes.
come back down and see, he did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks real nice.
I renew all the place completely. It's nice. It's very nice now.
What is it? You said it's 4 or 5 hours up the Amazon to get there?
Yeah.
5 hours more or
Wow.
less far from Iquitos.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the city. We are deep in the jungle
And
in
it's a
one
reserve.
national reserve called Pacaya Samiria. And also, apart that we are sharing medicine, apart we show people nature in that area because this is the national reserve, and this place is rich in flora and fauna. You can see animals in nature like snakes, sometimes jaguars, pink dolphins, sloth, monkeys,
Pepe.
alligators. It's nice area if you wanna see this nature.
I was trying to describe to Dylan, one of the things that really took me off guard was when you're in the jungle, just the noise. That noise, there's no way, you can't capture it on a microphone. It's just dense jungle.
Yeah.
When you're out there, you're I remember Victor telling me, he's yeah, don't go too far.
I can't wait to hear that so much. I want to be there to experience it so much. I want to go out there. I was telling him, I want to go camping out in the jungle. When we come down there, just one night deep out there in the forest and just hear what that sounds like all around.
That would be amazing, man. Before to start with medicines, now I'm more with medicine, especially with Cambo. Before my job is I'm jungle guide. I teach people know how to survive in the jungle. Sometimes we go 21 months deep in the jungle. Many people go sometimes, ex-marines, soldiers, militaries. They love to do this type of adventure, and then they get one package of 25 days, for example, and we don't bring any food. I take my rifle. It's important, your rifle, because there are jaguars, and it's a little and
They're always watching
a
you, I'm
spear.
sure.
I bring a spear, my machete,
That's
and
cool.
we eat what we find. Yeah, sometimes we are eating some snakes, frogs. Yeah,
So you don't bring
we
food with
spearfishing.
you.
No,
You're just
no.
you're out
catch
there.
your food and you
catch your
survive.
food and we survive.
Wow,
We are
that's
cross,
cool.
Yeah, we make raft. We are cross lagoons.
Because of your
lakes,
experience, is it difficult to find food, or are you like, no, that thing right there, boom?
Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you don't eat, but sometimes you have a lot of food. That's why it's important a rifle, because sometimes we get a big rodent, for example, and one rodent is like 45 kilos more or less.
Yeah.
They're huge. Yeah, we have the biggest rodent in the world called capybara, and
They're so
Yeah.
cute.
there's enough food for maybe
I've seen those on
10,
Discovery
15
Channel.
15 people is, yeah. Sometimes you eat very good. Sometimes you don't find anything.
Do you ever have tourists that want to experience that, and you get them out there, and they're like, nope, I'm done with it. I'm out.
Yes.
Really?
He's told me stories
Yeah.
like he'll take some people out, and maybe after the second day they're done because of mosquitoes, or maybe
Yeah.
they're scared. You know,
Yeah.
it's dark in the jungle.
It's dark. Dark.
Yeah,
out there?
it is
Dark.
very
Can you?
dark.
Is it? You can't even see through.
You don't see from
Sometimes-
here to here. You
That's
sometimes you
oh
don't see.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't see you sometimes.
And we're like a foot from each other too.
Yeah,
Wow.
you don't see.
The stars.
But
Oh,
some days, yeah, it's
Yeah.
full moon, it's clear, full of stars.
That's
Beautiful,
magic
yeah.
in the jungle when it's full moon and you see all the constellations. That's magic.
I walked out my ceremony and it was like they had to come get me because I just laid down. I'm like, hey, buddy, just like it looked like God had just like pierced the sky with a needle, you know, just threw some pixie dust down, and you're just looking at this and you're like, because you know, there's just even in the remote parts of America, there's still a little bit of light pollution, you know, unless you're like out there
And it's
Canyon.
it's a whole different world. Like out here, right? It turns night, nothing really much changes. But like day and night in the jungle is two different worlds.
Yeah.
completely.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. Sometimes will happen things that you can't explain. No. Yeah, it's
Wow.
other world at night in the jungle.
Do you, because you're from there, you know, you probably have a little hyper awareness, probably a lot better than because you've grown up there.
I was born there, I grew up there, and yeah, we are very focused.
I thought you grew up in Brazil, no?
Yeah, in the Amazon. Yeah, in the Amazon.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting how big the Amazon is.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Brazil, and then how did you make your way to Peru? What was the connection?
It's because my mom is Peruvian, my father is Brazilian. So when I was around 12, I moved to Peru with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah, but always in the jungle.
Yeah.
Jungle, yeah.
And from what I remember, I mean, like it seems like you've always kind of had like that hustler mindset, like taking people on tours and showing people things, learning about the jungle. Like everything you've done has been like win-win. Like people want to learn, and that's been your job. So I'm kind of curious, like what, like you mentioned you did the tour jungles, right? Like the tour guides, and now you have this retreat center. Like what else have you done with like helping people understand the jungle? Like,
Like, can you repeat the question?
yeah, like aside from the retreat center and like
Yeah.
doing jungle stuff, like what other kind of things have you done just as like jobs, right? Like since you were 12, I remember you've been in the jungle, you know,
Oh
like
But
yeah,
this is
but
like- This is part of my life. Always I've been in the jungle since child. I grew up with my grandparents when I was child, and I've been learning from them. For example, when you have a baby, your objective as a parent is your baby, since he is like a 4 or 5, it's like a 4 things. He should learn to swimming very well. They teach you how to plant, how to farm, and they teach you how to use the fishing rod, because you are going to live from the jungle. You know, most people there, we don't have salaries, we don't have like a jobs. We live from the jungle. So your job as a parent is teach to your baby all these important things. Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a different lifestyle.
It's completely
Like,
different.
I'm thinking
life,
of someone growing up here. You know, they go to school.
Yeah.
Someone might not even learn to fish until a teenager, maybe. Here, you know, but that's like to survive. You're gonna start bringing fish home to us, so we
Yeah,
can.
I remember
we can
that I was child. My grandfather, he was putting me behind the canoe. He was in front fishing. So most of especially fathers, they do that. They go fishing. The baby is always behind, and he's watching everything what the fathers do. That's the way how we learn. Yeah.
Before you had the retreat, before the retreat. Uh oh, technical difficulties.
Trying to make sure that the camera is not, but we got it. Continue on.
Oh, before the retreat that you have now, like you have everything set up. You know, what were you doing before that? I think that's where Colton was asking was, you know, how did you come up to where you're at now? You know, because to do what you're doing now, you really have to be a hustler and understanding a win-win situation. So, like, what kind of brought you up to where you're at today before you even had the retreat going?
I've been, I grew up, how I told you before, I grew up in the Amazon, in the jungle, working as a jungle guide many years, teaching people how to protect the Amazon, how to protect animals, trees. And but in one point, we've been doing a lot of medicines too. And in one point, my aunt, she got like...
Wait, no, you didn't hear. So he went to school before he started the retreat center. He was supposed to be a history professor.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's
See, that's what I've been trying to get at. It's like, what?
Okay.
He was supposed to be history professor. He dropped out, like, I think he had
In the last year.
But that's
Yeah.
why he's always, when he talks and he takes people on jungle tours, he tells you the history of the jungle, the history of this part of the Amazon, or this part of the river, this part of, or this explorer that came here, because that's what he was supposed to do. That drives him.
Yeah.
So that's what he was
Before
doing
I want to be
before.
teacher.
Okay,
yeah,
there
I like
it
to
is.
teach.
Yeah.
I
Because
like
you're
to
so
teach.
good at just explaining everything that's out there and what's going on and the history. So that makes a lot
And
of
English
sense.
is very good because he worked in cruise ships before, and he was he was learning before, but he was practicing his English in cruise ships. So yeah,
I've read a book called The Monkey God down there, and it's about where they use LiDAR systems. And they went out there and found a old village, I guess, in the jungle, and they found statues of monkeys out there. And it was just like the monkey god. And that was one of the histories I found from down there, was the soldiers would take them out there.
I
And
wonder what part that is.
Yeah.
I think it's near Peru. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that. That's the only history I know down there, was reading that. And that was how I kind of learned a little bit about the jungle, was what you were saying, that y'all would take people out there and they didn't understand how anything works. One of them got bit and ended up having to go to the hospital for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of the interesting to think about, though. It's like how many cultures, because everything's it's the jungle, right? Born, died, recreated. You know, it's just like, it's not, I don't know. One of the things I really enjoyed about being out there was like you feel a part of the cycle of life.
Yeah.
You really feel it. You know, it's something that you're very present. Like when you said, like, people down there, they don't have salaries, you know, they're not worried about their promotion. So for instance, there was a guy that brought up, he lived in a village down there for a little bit, and one of his big takeaways was that like he didn't have any anxiety because there was nothing to be anxious about. It was like,
For example, this PTSD, the first time when I heard that was here.
yeah,
We don't have that in the jungle.
PTSD doesn't exist in the jungle.
That's kind of interesting.
No, man.
Yeah.
Our life there is completely different, man.
So
I'm not talking about cities, not like Iquitos, because Iquitos there are, but in the jungle, I'm talking about small villages, like villages where I grew up. We don't have that, man. It's completely different.
So PTSD just doesn't exist in the jungle.
There, no. We are.
Why do you think
it's
that is?
Because we know each other. We are family. You know, the villages, sometimes there are like 500, 600 people, and everybody knows each other. I don't know if you realize when you've been there, animals, all the animals like chickens, pigs, sometimes they are outside in the street together with the people.
Yeah.
So, but everybody knows from who is this animal. So then we don't have this problem like, yeah, you stole my chicken. No, we don't. We don't have that. Yeah, we respect because we know each other. We are families.
Yeah.
That's the big thing
Yeah.
that I saw when I moved down there. Family life is like a real family life. It's not like over here. You know, people work 9 to 5. You come home, you try and spend a little bit of time with the family. Maybe sit down for dinner, and then you go to bed and do it again the next day. It's not like that there. People really are together, as everything revolves around each other, not just around the dinner table. It's all day, you know. That's the biggest difference that I saw. And also, you know, the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It's true. Like, that's where I saw that where the saying must have come from somewhere like this, because I have my kids down there and the whole street knows Rohan. Everybody knows him.
Yeah.
And they all come over and play, and the kids all come over, and the kids are outside playing at 8 o'clock. They knock on the door, Rohan, they're ready to play. And they just go inside to eat and go to the bathroom, and then they're outside playing with each other all day. It's so different. Like, we came over here and Rose bored. Yeah, like, he doesn't know what to do. He's so used to going outside and playing with kids, but there's none of that here. Like, you don't go outside and see kids playing in the street with each other, like, for lots of different reasons here. But family life is much different in the Amazon. Yeah.
That's
And I
true.
think, and I didn't grow up there, so I can't really say why they don't have PTSD, though I know I haven't seen it in any of the villages. I think people are just, they go with the flow, and when something happens that may be tragic for them, I think and I can't speak for them, but I think that they realize this is just part of life, okay, and we just flow with it. It's not so, I think when you're more in that flow, you don't have those other kind of issues, yeah, because you just accept things as they are, and you're not fighting against it. Yeah.
Do you think the medicine that you provide to others down there, that also is part of it and helps with kind of the lifelong journey of just living there as well?
Well, the people in the villages don't really take part in the medicine.
Really?
Yeah, they don't take part in the medicine. It's very taboo, actually, over there. It's become a very touristic thing. The native community now, that's different. Shipibo community, they're working with this medicine, but not all
No,
the
other
people in the jungle
yeah.
are Shipibos, right?
Can you
There's-
explain that a little bit, by the way? Because like a lot of people don't recognize like the threads that, you know, we have represented in some of the stuff, like what the Shipibo people are and the differences of the people there.
Shipibos are native to Peru. They're an indigenous community there, from different parts of Peru. There's a lot now in Iquitos, I think, because it's the ayahuasca capital of the world, and this is what they work with. But there's even more in Pucallpa. In Pucallpa have the villages where their families, generations are from.
Yeah.
But when you go visit different villages in the Amazon, you're not going to meet, well, by the lodge where Victor is, you're not going to meet Shipibos in those villages. That's not where Shipibos are from. You're going to meet native Peruvians. You're going to meet natives to that area of the jungle. And I don't know, they're different. There's a lot of disconnect, too, because these people that are living there now, they've lost the language, maybe, of where their ancestors came from. You know, it's a thing now where it's a privilege to be modern. It's a privilege to go to the pharmacy. It's a privilege to have a cell phone. It's a privilege, yeah. So a lot of people are disconnected from where their background is from, where their ancestors are from. So there's a lot of, you would say they're native Peruvian. They may not even identify with whatever tribe or whatever group they came from before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, the other day I read one post. Somebody post, why a lot of people in the Amazon are dying if they have a combo, that it can cure, for example, this the COVID-19. No, a lot of people are dying, and this guy wrote no that he doesn't understand why people don't use Cambo, because that's simple, because most people they don't know about these medicines. No, if in Peru we have like a more than 100 group of native, and most of these native they are in the Amazon. They are located in all Peru, but every group of native they have their own medicine. Yeah, for example, Shipibos native in Peru, they are more like ayahuasca, plant diets, but they don't have idea what does mean Cambo. For example, the Maxes native, their medicine is Cambo. They don't have idea what is ayahuasca in Peru. So, and most of people from the cities people, they don't have idea what is Cambo. For example, I have a lot of friends now in the city. If you ask them, you try ayahuasca, you know what's ayahuasca? They tell you, that hallucinogenic thing, but they don't know really what means ayahuasca. They heard, they heard ayahuasca, but they never try.
Really?
That's yeah. Every group of native have their own medicine. Yeah, and they live so close, but they don't know the other medicine.
That's so surprising. So close, and people from around the world travel there specifically for it too.
To be honest, I was a little in shock to see more people in Florida who knows about nature medicines from the Amazon, from South America, than on my own city, my own country. I found a lot of community here in Florida that they know our medicine in Peru or in Brazil. The people they don't know, they don't know what
the people
have.
there.
It's sad. And Natasha, it's true. It's true what she said about now people, if they feel a little sick, they go to the chemistry, drugstore to buy pills. They are losing the tradition. They don't use a medicine plant anymore. It's difficult. It's sad.
Can you explain what combo is and how you get it for a lot of people out there that don't know specifically what it is or how you get it, what it does?
Yeah, Cambo. We have this frog Cambo. The scientific name is Phylamedusa bicolor, and we have this frog in almost all South America, countries like Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, Suriname, Venezuela, Bolivia. In all these countries, we can find Cambo, the Phylamedusa bicolor frog. But only Peruvians and Brazilian native, they use the secretion of this frog to heal diseases like cancer, leukemia, Parkinson, diabetes, arthritis, arthrosis, heart attack, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, lupus, PTSD. This medicine works in different levels in your body, physically, mentally, spiritually, in all the levels. The scientist, there is one scientist, he was a pharmacologist, his name is Vittorio Sparmer. This guy, he's from Rome. In the 80s, he was the first guy, and also he discovered the serotonin in 1982, 83, I think. This guy, he discovered in the secretion of this frog like 9 active peptides. You know, peptides are like amino acids, proteins in the secretion of this frog. So he discovered peptides like dermorphine, deltorphine, sauvage, philokinin, tachykinin, philomedicine, dermazeptin, and denogurulin. All these peptides, when you put in your bloodstream, is going to work in all your body, since your brain until your feet. It's like a scanner that it goes everywhere. And normally, these native in Peru and Brazil, they start to use these frogs. Nobody knows exactly since many years ago, but the tradition that we have about this medicine is a legend. The legend said that Cambo, for us, Cambo was a powerful shaman. He was the strongest shaman in the Amazon. And one day, one virus or one disease came to this area, and this disease started to kill a lot of natives. And the shaman Cambo, he didn't know how to cure this disease. The shaman Cambo, he went deep in the jungle and he started to drink ayahuasca. And when he drank ayahuasca, in his vision, Mother Ayahuasca came in one beautiful woman bringing the frog. Mother Ayahuasca showed the shaman Cambo how to get the secretion and how to apply in people. Since that moment, the shaman Cambo, he started to use the secretion of the frog, and he started to apply in people, and he started to heal people. And before to die, he said, when I die, my spirit is going inside this frog because I want to help people. That's the tradition or legend that we have in Peru and Brazil with our native about this medicine.
That makes sense now why the ayahuasca and combo.
They are together. They are brothers and sisters.
That's
It's
what makes
so
sense
beautiful when people do cambo in the morning and at night they do ayahuasca. Wow, it's beautiful. You connect more with the medicine. You have more beautiful experience.
Very much a cleansing too.
Amazing,
Yeah.
amazing cleansing. Yeah.
Wow, and that makes sense. Like you just said, where you do ayahuasca, you said at night, and then combo during the day. You really
Yes.
are just cleaning. If you're doing it multiple days, what a journey that must be.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You've done it. You did it, didn't you? Yeah. Colton's gone through that journey.
Yeah.
You've told me all about it. I can't wait to go down
You
there.
did the combo with us.
I did the combo with you guys.
Don't let the listeners out on
Oh
that.
yeah, I've done the combo. I really enjoyed it. The
remember
middle of
the
it was
picture.
pretty crazy, but afterwards,
We had to Photoshop you into the group
oh
picture.
yeah, what a beautiful picture that is.
That should be the cover image
I
for
want
this
that to
photo.
be the cover image
Yeah.
for sure of this. My funny story after that, I went with my family to a Monster Jam rally thing, and just watching big trucks crush cars. And I ended up I told my family I did it, and they were like, "What are you doing, man? That's crazy." And I spotted a full can of a Bud Light, and my stepdad was like, "Keep taking that. You're finding beer for us. Keep taking that stuff, man."
No, it was really intense, because I think one of the things that people, if you're listening to this or watching this and they're not really familiar with combo at all, because I wasn't, and you hear this, like some of the claims about the medicine and how it heals. One of the interesting things about when I went, we had that guy there, I wish I could remember his name, but he was in remission from cancer. He had all the tumors and stuff going on. And so I'm hearing this, I'm like, you know, hey, I have the cool stones at home just to make sure energy wise I'm good, whether it works or not, you know. But when we're in this setting, it's like, hey, here's this guy that's getting blood work done by his doctor every week, and he's coming here, and we'll see what happens when he goes back. And literally a week or two after we went down there, we're all friends on WhatsApp, and he was like, yo, you guys have to see this. The doctor asked him, like, what did you do? And it wasn't like a miracle he's cured, but like all of his levels, like all the key levels that they'd been monitoring had significantly shot up. And so like that was something where the doctor was like, okay, what happened? What did you do? Because we need to keep doing that. And it was the combo.
Yeah.
Like, cause he couldn't really hold down Aya very much, like his stomach from all the medicines and stuff. But I remember seeing when I purged from the combo, you were like, oh, that's good. It was like bright yellow. You're like, yeah, you're healthy. And this guy purged and it was black. It was black.
Toxins from the body. I saw many times this type of color. Sometimes people, they are taking too much pills, or they are in chemo, or they are in radiation, or they are in insulin. I saw many times people throwing at this color. That's no good, man.
And so is it that like when you take the combo and you
Combo clean all these toxins from your body.
The main thing is Cambo helps you get rid of the bile that's in your body. And everyone produces bile. Bile sits there and collects all the toxins in your body. That's what it's and helps you digest food, and it does all of this. So imagine you have this bile sitting in your body for your whole life. It's that bile is just sitting in there. Cambo helps you to release that bile. You're going to purge it out, and your body will make a new bile. It will make a new liquid in your body. It allows you to replace that. So you're getting rid of all that toxin, you're getting rid of all that toxicity and replacing it. So that's what I think that's one of the main benefits physically for Kambo. What it's doing, it's helping you change the oil, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So aside from, say, ayahuasca and Kambo, what like other medicines do you feel like people would really benefit from?
Sananga. Sananga
Sananga.
is such a good medicine. It's eye drops.
The
They burn. Yeah, they burn. They're really intense. I think all the medicines.
There's no way to prep somebody for that.
No. Well, you can kinda.
It was
You
intense.
tell them it's like acid thrown in your eye.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid.
I
would
remember
say-
I asked you, Victor, how to prep, and he was like, tilt your head back. That's how you prep.
Yeah, like it's really intense, but I think all these medicines, they hurt before they help. And I think that's one of the keys to these natural medicines is, you take these pharmaceutical medicines or you take these other medicines that are over here and it just masks it. It just masks it and you don't feel the pain. And a lot of people, they take these medicines, maybe they have to clean out their gut and they don't want to poop. How are you going to get this stuff out? You got to poop. You got to purge. You got to get it out. Just got to clean out. And what it is Kambo and all these other ones, it wants you to clean out your body. You have to flush your system out, clean the toxicity out. That's how you get better. You can't just keep masking things. That goes for many, depression. That goes for everything. You can't just mask it. You have to clean out. Sananga burns like hell. Like it's the root from one tree. Victor will tell you. But it's the root from one tree. They squeeze the juice out from this root. And you put one drop in each eye. You just, not in your eye, you put in the corner of your eye when your eyes are closed, and you open your eye and let it enter your eye. And you must do it this way because it is so strong. And it burns. Like I can't stress that enough. It burns, but it helps so much. It helps
4 or
with
5 minutes maximum.
it helps with anything vision related. If you're nearsighted, if you're farsighted, if you have cataracts, glaucoma, blindness. We had a friend use these drops on her aunt who was partially blind. No, was completely blind in one eye. She was using it for I don't know how many weeks, once a day I think she was doing, and she said that she's gotten some of her vision back. Like that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. But what I've seen Sananga help with the most for people is actually anxiety. A lot of people who suffer from anxiety have started working with Sananga, and they have expressed that this has helped them so much. And I can see that. You put this in and it's so strong, but it calms you. There's something with this medicine that it just calms you. Maybe it's the shock of it, I don't know. But there is something working in there. And yeah, Sananga is great medicine from the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sananga tree is the scientific name. You can find like a Tabernamontana undulata. And the way how the
I
native...
challenge anybody to look that up.
And the way how the native prepare it is that they get the roots, they smash in the roots, and this liquid from the roots, they mix with water. But this water, the native get from lakes or small creeks where the water is black. Because this water, the black water, it has like a high concentrated in tannin and acid. They mix with that to make it calm down a little bit, because if you do directly from the root, oh my God, it's so much painful.
So that's calm down.
Yeah, it makes calm down.
Yeah.
That's why
Oh
they
my
boil it,
goodness.
mix with
He
that
told
water.
me that he did it straight from
I
the
took
bark,
directly
or
from
the leaf
my
ones.
gosh, man. I had visions.
That's how crazy that was. Wow.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. It's so strong.
What I love about like what you guys are saying is like when I went down there, so full disclosure, when I did ayahuasca, we did the sharing circle before, with the feather and everything, right? And like, what are you here for? And it's like you said, PTSD, I've been divorced 3 times, my family, abuse, whatever. And it got to me and I was like, I came for the cool colors. Like I didn't know, I'd just been told like, that's what you came for. And then as my journey went on, as we're like going through the weeks, you hear about these other medicines and you hear about like the power. And I'm like skeptical, but I want to believe. But it's like when you're there and you actually see what's happening, it's not like miracles are being worked. It's like, no, like you can't just take this plant one time. Like you have to diet this plant for it to work, right? Like it's not like a pill. Like you're not going to the pharmacy and getting a pill. It's like, no, you can heal, but you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, your friend, some of her vision came back. It's like it's a process. It's not
Yes.
like
It's a process.
it's not instant,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a process.
And same thing with combo, same thing with Aya. Like it's
Yes.
like it takes time.
It takes time.
And that's the way things are meant to
Yeah.
be.
Yes, that's nature.
Yeah.
Nature, yeah. For
And so-
example, my mom, she got cured her skin cancer with Cambo. Yeah, she was doing almost 9 months.
So you hear
We were
stuff like
doing
that. See that
a-
reaction that he had?
like
Same
a-
thing.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, and we have proof. We have the exam that what she did before and after. She did the last year twice in 1 year in the capital in Lima, all of them negative. And the doctors, they were asking her daughter, what did you do? You don't have cancer. Your cancer disappeared. Because she had skin cancer it started in the face, grows like a black mole, bigger. They did twice surgery, cutting, but it was growing again. But since she started with Cambo and she changed her diet, amazing. This cancer didn't grow up anymore. The diet is very important. If you really change your diet, it's amazing.
that's what I was going to say. It's not just like one thing, right? Like you have to make
should put your
lifestyle
part-
changes.
Yeah, you should put
It
your
sounds
part.
like kind of what you were referencing earlier. You have to change the oil. It's like if with any car, if you don't change the oil, it's going to gunk up. It's going to start having problems. We're a machine as it is. We have to do that. I like to think that that's why a lot of cancer happens. It's gunking up your system, and it's going to come out in one way or the other if you don't take care of it and get it out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from, in that same path, aside from like the other medicines, right? Like what are some other examples you've seen? Like there was one guy you told me about. There's two things that Victor said when we were going on the jungle trip. When you're touring us, you're like, if you see a black scorpion, walk around, and a coral snake, right? Those were the two things you said to avoid.
A Bushmaster.
Wow.
Coral snake. But
Yeah.
yes, it's like oh my God, their poison is so strong. It's like they can kill you maybe maximum in 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah, especially the Bushmaster and Coral. These two guys, we have other poison snake, but you have time, maybe 1 day that you can
Get
maybe
help.
get some antivenom or use Cambo. But for these two, Bushmaster and Coral, yeah, it's difficult. I saw people die. I've been eyewitness, see people dying with this.
You also said there was like one guy you were able to bring back, right? You had to bring in a shaman. Someone got bit by a snake or something.
Okay. I was this experience with this guy from Netherlands. He got bit by this lens-head viper, and was crazy that day because that day I didn't have my Cambo. I forgot in the city all my medicines, and it was winter. And in winter we didn't find this. We have one plant good against the poison of this snake called Hergon sacha, but we didn't find because the level of the water was too high. And normally when the level of the water is high, it kills all the plants. So what to do? This guy was dying. He was bleeding, his nose, his ear, by the nail. He was dying. And I remember that day, friend of mine and me, we went to the village to bring the shaman. And this old guy, this shaman, he came. He saw the guy, his body was shaking. And the shaman, he brought a plastic bottle, a big plastic bottle. The bottle was empty. And the shaman said, okay, all of you guys, refill this bottle with pee. So everybody, start to pee. Everybody, all the staff, all the people there start to pee and refill the bottle. When the bottle was full, the shaman got a mapacho, the tobacco leaf. the tobacco leaf. He got the leaf from the tree from the tobacco and he smashed it. He smashed all this leaf and he mixed with a pea in the bottle. He mixed it, he shake it and he gave to the guy. The guy drank all of that. He drank completely. And after 10 seconds, 15 seconds, he started to throw up. He throw up all day, all night long. He throw up, toilet. The next day he was completely normal. He didn't die. He was normal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was amazing, how these shamans has this knowledge from nature.
How do you find that out? That's like a last resort. Yeah. Somebody's like, give me a leaf and pee in this. Yeah, shake it up.
They know their experience. It's like I did this question as well when the first time when I see Cambo, how the people do Cambo, and I was what they are doing. And when I asked this native, it was in Brazil in the Amazon, I asked this guy, how did you guys discover this medicine? And he told me something interesting. He told me, Victor, I did the same question to my grandfather, but my grandfather told me when he was young, one day he went hunting. He saw one monkey and he started to follow the monkey with a bow and arrow. He wanted to kill the monkey because, native, they eat monkeys. So he said that his grandfather was following the monkey and he said the monkey was trying to escape. In one point, the monkey stopped because the monkey wanted to jump to the other branch. But in the other branch, there was a poisonous snake. And he said that his grandfather waited. He said that the monkey saw the guy, he saw the snake, and the monkey decided to jump in the other branch. And the poisonous snake bit the monkey. And he said that he saw the monkey started to scream, and the monkey went running directly to one tree. He followed the monkey, and he saw that the monkey went to one tree, and he get that tree, and he started to bite. He bite the tree, he started to eat it, that tree, and then he was putting in the place where the snake bit him. He said that he followed the monkey 2 more minutes, and then the monkey passed out. He said that he picked up the monkey, he put in his shoulder, and he came back to his house. When he arrived to his house, the monkey got up and escaped. So
he saw it worked somehow.
Yeah, it worked
through the animals. Yeah,
it's like it's nature. If you see animals, the jungle belongs to animals. They live there. They know. So if you observe and you really see what they do, you are going to learn something. You are going to learn something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. You just followed the path and until someone figured it out.
That reminds me of some of the Bushmasters in Africa. So when they're thirsty, like when they really need to find water, they carry around salt, and they'll find like a hole in a tree, and the monkeys always like follow them and kind of just see what they're doing, checking them out, right? And so there's a story about one of the guys goes up to a tree, puts a bunch of salt in the tree in the hole, and then the monkey watches him. He goes away, and the monkey like checks out. He goes up to the tree, and he's like fired up. He tastes it, and he's salt, and he goes in to grab a bunch of the salt, but he can't bring his hand back out with all the salt. And so the monkey just starts eating it out of the tree. So he doesn't lose all his salt, but now the monkey's really thirsty. And so he just follows the monkey to the water where they go to drink.
Yeah.
And so it's funny you bring it up. It's like the animals know where everything's at. Like they communicate. And so I think back to like the stories I was hearing when I was there, and some of the guides and the shamans when we were like translating, and asking questions and stuff. One of the things I asked was about like, how do you become a shaman? And it seems like it's pretty intense.
Or they have programs now that you can sign up and do a 2-week course and get a certificate.
Oh, man,
really?
2 months. In 2 months you can become. It's crazy how there are in the jungle. One American create his
become a shaman certificate.
Shaman. Oh. Yeah, 2-3 months.
What about the people that I was there with? You asked?
No, I don't think that they.
You knew the name of them earlier. You asked who was I there with when I went down? Who were those people?
Oh, the shamans themselves.
Yeah.
Well, So so if you want to be a real shaman,
Right.
not like with a certificate, but
Yeah.
that you trained, you need to go and do diet. You need to.
Well, that's
do
what I was talking
plant
about, the
diets.
diet of these
Yeah.
shamans. And they were talking about like
Everything is
some
diet,
shamans
man.
die in the practice of like becoming a shaman.
I'm sure. But most of the shamans there, it's lineage, but you can also train to become a shaman, but you need to put in the work. You have to put in that time.
Yeah.
And that takes months, years. You should go down and diet different plants. The more plants you diet, the more knowledge that you get from,
yeah.
from
And
different
what does it
plants.
mean to like diet a plant?
The shaman who you train with will prepare that's actually an interesting point. A lot of people that we met here in the States say that they're doing plant diet. I'm just
can
scared he's
continue.
going to break stuff.
He's doing good so far. He figured it out, didn't he?
Yeah. For example, when you start to, if you go and you wanna like, but the thing is that now I see in a lot of foreigners go and they try to become a shaman. But for us in South America, it doesn't exist. That's not the way. For us, shaman is tradition. It comes by family. My shamans, for example, they are shamans because their father or their grandfather was a shaman. Now we are working with some shaman that all their family are shaman. That's his sister, him, the mom, the dad. That's the way how I work with this type of shamans. We don't have like a just one day I wake up and I want to be a shaman.
Right.
No, for us doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
And normally, the way is how we believe that every tree has a spirit, no? We call it mother. So when you start to do that diet of one plant, you get a knowledge of that plant. So, but when you start to, if you want to start to become a shaman, you should get a master, one shaman who is going to teach you. The shaman who is going to teach you, he is going to decide what plants you are going to do. If he start the plant, he tell you you are going to diet this plant maybe 2 or 3 months. In these 3 months, you are going to be deep in the jungle by yourself. You are not going to have contact with people. Maybe you are going to eat just a little bit once a day, maybe just one fruit. The shaman is going to tell you what you're going to do during these 3 months. And you are going to be drinking the resin, could be the resin, the bark, or the latex, or the leaf from the tree. It depends of the tree, what plant you are doing the diet. And then you are going to get the knowledge of the spirit of the plant. Yeah, but in this, for example, 3 months, the shaman is going to do like maybe 3 or 4 ceremonies. Ayahuasca, but that ayahuasca is going to be mixed with the bark or the resin of the plant that you are doing diet. So ayahuasca with that plant, the spirit of the plant is coming to you and tell you for what they are good. They tell you, for example, I'm good for cancer, I'm good for this disease, I'm good for this. That's the way you get the knowledge. You finish your diet, you did very well, you respect it, you rest maybe 3 days or 5 days or a week, and the shaman tell you, okay, another plant. While more plants you do, you get more knowledge. You grow spiritually, knowledge. Sometimes the plants make you make your own Icaros. Icaros are the songs, special songs for healing. And yeah, the plants teach you. That's the way how we become shamans. Now is all these things now is becoming more popular, more touristic, and it's sad because you see a lot of shamans, no? But it's not like before that you could see these real shamans. Before, oh my God, there was real shamans. I remember, I will tell you one experience what I had when I was child, yeah? When I was child, I was around 6 or 7, and one poison snake bit to my grandma, and she was dying, no? She was dying. And we went to look for one shaman in the village. And this shaman, he's Wankawi shaman. We have different type of shamans. And we went to look for this shaman, Wankawi shaman. Wankawi shamans, They are expert healing poison snake bites. They focus just in poison snake bites. These shaman, when they want to become this type of shamans, they do diets the feather of one eagle called Wankawi. This eagle called Wankawi, they are huge, and they love to eat just poison snakes. These eagles are, wow, the best in snake. He control all the snakes, this eagle. So if you do the diet and you respect it and you imitate the sound what these eagles do, you are going to heal poison snakes bite only whistling or making the noise and smoking your mapacho. That's it. It's amazing. I know some guys, some Wankawi shamans. They are really amazing. The voice that they make, they imitate the eagle, and they heal only making sounds. It's wow. So we went to look for this guy, but he wasn't there. He went to another village, so we didn't find him. What to do? Some people in the village told to my grandfather. They told him, Pedro, across the river and walk 20-25 minutes, there is one house. In that house live one shaman. He can cure poison snake bites. But this shaman is Banco Puma. And this Banco Puma is another type of shaman. Banco Pumas is there in another level. These shamans, they are not humans anymore. These shamans, they transform in animals. I remember my grandfather took me. I was 6-7 years now. We across the river by canoe, and then we walk. We walk deep in the jungle, and we arrived to this house. The house was closed. We knocked the door, and nobody came. But there were some holes in the house because the house was made of wood, no? Some holes, and I went to see, and there was a huge jaguar there in the living room. A huge jaguar. Oh my gosh, I said to my grandfather, Dad, there is a jaguar there. And he said, no, I don't believe you. Yes, there is a jaguar. And he made this, no. I hold his hand and there is a jaguar. And he went to see, and he got so scared. He said, let's go. And then one woman came running from outside. And she said to my grandfather, hey guys, go. My father is doing diet now, don't bother him. That was her father. This jaguar was her father. Yeah, he was doing diet. Yeah, that's Banco Puma. These shamans are like the number one. It's like we say in the Amazon, never do shit to this shaman. They are going to, we respect them, and they love to live far from the village. They love to live alone, just their family. They never live together with the village. Yeah, man, that's Banco Puma. We have different type of shamans, man. But to arrive to that level where he is, he did a lot of crazy things, like he killed people, witching. It's crazy how it works. To become shaman is not, people, sometimes they have this idea like, shaman, he can cure, he's a white shaman, I can tell you now, all the shamans, I'm talking about the Amazon, they must to learn the black part. When I say the black part, is that they should learn to kill, to use plants to kill. Yeah, they must to learn. It's mandatory. Because you should protect yourself.
Yeah, it's not to go out and kill, it's to protect.
To protect yourself. It's mandatory. All the shamans do that. All the shamans. If you don't do that, you are not shaman. Other shaman comes, okay, I want to see the power of this shaman. I want to see if he's good. Imagine that you are shaman and I'm shaman, and you are doing your ayahuasca with your group. And then I send my spirit to see what type of shaman you are. If you are good, you are going to stop me. Just with your Icarus. You are going to call the plants to protect yourself and your people. But if you don't know how to protect, if you didn't learn the black part, I'm going to bother you. I'm going to take all your energy, and all your people are becoming crazy. You are not going to do what you are not going to know what to do. You are going to become so sick for a long time, and I'm going to get all your energy. I'm going to grow more with your energy. Yeah, in shamanism, it works like that. It works like that. Always they're fighting.
I never played this video game, but some people described it as
Sounds like that.
War of Warcraft.
Yeah,
However,
World of Warcraft.
yeah, that people say that's what it's like with these shamans down there. But
Yeah, always they want to be
see.
the strongest.
And that's how
the
is
strongest,
that
yeah.
becoming more as these 2-week or 2-month things to become a shaman. And what I've always heard is if anyone claims to be a shaman, they're probably not a shaman, right?
Yeah, that's why. For example, there are some tourists with good heart, amazing people, foreigners. They go to the Amazon to try to learn about medicine plant because they feel that they can help people. Amazing, nice idea. They look for a shaman. They trust in the shaman because suppose that this shaman is going to teach them to help them. Okay, the shaman teach them. They start to teach them to do the plant diet. They start the plant diet 1 month, 2 months, 1 year. When the shaman see that you are growing spiritually, that you are becoming strong, that you are starting to sing your own Icaros, the shaman, he doesn't want that you become stronger than him. He's going to get all your everything that you learn, he's going to get it and he becomes stronger.
He can take what you've learned and
Yeah, they have special plants, Icaros, that they can do that.
How do
That's
you
what-
feel about
Sorry, let me finish this
Yeah.
part. That's why our shamans is by family. Because if I'm shaman, my son is going to be shaman, and I'm not going to bother to my son. I'm not going to take his energy of my son. No, all my knowledge is going with him. That's why it's tradition of family there. Yeah,
like a lineage?
lineage. Yeah.
So the thing that came up for me is, how do you feel about a place like Soltar or Rhythmia? These places in like Costa Rica. I'm curious what your take is on Westerners going down and setting up retreat centers, like here in Florida. You know how there's retreat centers here and in Peru. If I go down there, like for me, it was a life-changing experience, right? And now I want to help give that to other people. Like, how do you feel about that happening? Like, what are your feelings towards someone that is not from the Amazon setting up retreat centers for people to come to?
In one part, it's okay because people from that area, from the Amazon, they are getting job because more tourism is coming and it's nice for them. But in other part, it's like they are not respecting. They are abusing from the plants. It's not like before. You can find ayahuasca everywhere now. It's so difficult. I remember before, for example, when I was a child, you could find these huge ayahuascas growing everywhere in the Amazon. But now, believe me, no,
Really?
nothing. I'm sure this vine is going to be in danger soon, very soon. It's like, we are destroying. We are just becoming greedy. There are a lot of people there that they cut, since they are baby, the ayahuasca, they are cutting, preparing ayahuasca and selling Europe, here, US. It's becoming too business. It's becoming a big business.
Is it something that you can, it's not really something like if I want to grow tomatoes, I plant it and it grows, right? Like this is something that has to grow out in the wild.
Exactly, wild. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of there was a TV show for a while in the Midwest. They created a church here so that they could give ayahuasca to the church members and for it to be legal here. It was on like the Discovery Channel.
Don't they have
for a
legal
while.
centers that
They have it here in Florida too.
Yeah.
Really?
Soul Quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Soul Quest here in Florida.
I don't know about
They are
SoQuest.
church.
I just know about this because it was a TV show.
Yeah.
And there was a big deal about it because there were people saying like that's so disrespectful to turn it into this and that they don't really know what they're doing.
So I don't know. I think that there's centers. I don't know. It depends, yeah, because I think it depends on who's running the center and where their intentions are, and a lot of people are doing for money. Like that's a big problem in the medicine community in general. People are sharing lots of medicines because they can make lots of money, not because they can provide lots of healing. There are people who are sharing medicine for healing, you know, but I think you have to be wary when people have centers, because maybe they only drank ayahuasca a couple times and now they decided, hey, I'm going to open up a center and I'm the shaman. You know, like
That's true.
yeah, it's like that's money. I don't care what you say, that's money, because you didn't do the work yourself yet.
Sounds like
and now you
someone
want to
going
go
on
and heal a lot of people.
Sounds like someone going on a couple mushroom trips and hasn't had a bad trip yet to like understand to respect it yet.
Yeah. It could definitely be that. That's a factor, right? I don't know. It really depends on the. It's not you can't make a general statement about it. I think it really depends on the center and the people running it. Yeah.
The thing that I saw here is, I know, agree, like in some places they have like 60, 80 people doing ayahuasca, and sometimes they don't have shamans, just they put the speaker.
Oh man.
And they do, you know. I heard, I don't know about this place, Rhythmia, that you asked before, but I heard somebody told me that he was there, and oh my God, like 80, 120 people sometimes.
At once?
Yeah, in one ceremony.
Isn't that dangerous more?
Is
The thing is
Yeah.
it's dangerous, and I don't know. People, yes, you're going to get healing no matter what. I shouldn't say no matter what, but you're going to get healing because ayahuasca is ayahuasca. That's the medicine, you know. Despite whoever is serving you the medicine and where you are, ayahuasca is still ayahuasca, and it's going to help. It's going to work through your body. But set and setting is so important. And if you can be in the right environment with the right people, that ayahuasca is going to work even harder for you, and you're going to get even more out of it. So yeah, like these big groups, it's crazy when I hear it that they have 60 or 80 people in a ceremony, because the shamans that we work with, they say they want to bring somebody else in with them if there's more than 8 people. You know, so what the hell are you doing with 80 people in this one shaman?
My
or
shaman
2
told me,
shamans?
for
Like,
example,
that's too
yeah,
much.
Victor, how many people are? 8 people. No, I need somebody else. I can do it alone. I need somebody else. Yeah, because normally when we share the ayahuasca, we ask to every person not to talk first with the shaman to tell your intention, why you are doing ayahuasca, what's your intention. You should tell what is happening in your life. So according of that, the shaman is going to focus on you and concentrate in Icarus. He's going to sing in the ceremony. Every person has their own Icaro, their own songs, because you know everybody, we are different. It's not the same song for everybody. Every person has their own Icaro. That's why we work like that. Everybody should be healed, no?
And you were talking about earlier, they can go and take, you know, another new shaman or someone claiming they're a shaman, they can go and mess with their energy. So if I'm on ayahuasca, they can affect my journey entirely, because they're in it with me.
Yeah.
That's interesting. One question I had from a friend was, you know, when you're on the ayahuasca, do you ever have spiritual connections with animals out there? Like, does that ever happen? Like, I've heard, for example, that leopards also, or tigers will also take it, and then some people will see a vision of the tigers or the leopards because they also enjoy taking it as well.
Yeah, a lot of people know they believe in spirit animals, and for example, I saw always we meet jaguar. Jaguar is what I think is my spirit animal, and people see many times snakes, anacondas, and this is ayahuasca. Shaman say that it's ayahuasca, but you should tell to your shaman what, when you had your experience, tell to your shaman what did you see, and he's going to help you. He's going to help you because he knows the meanings of what type of animal you see. Some people, they see owls, eagles, condors, puma, jaguar, snakes, anaconda, different animals. But the shaman can't tell you what does mean that.
Wow. So so people are seeing these visions, and it could be a different animal each time and have a different meaning each
Exactly.
time.
Yeah.
Okay.
The shamans there actually say that if you see animals in your visions, you should talk to them in your vision. You should
Better
ask
if you
them why
talk.
they are there.
Yeah. They answer
Oh,
you.
wow.
Some
Yeah.
people, they are scared and they look at them and they don't say nothing. But if you ask, they answer you. They answer you.
I was freaked right out. I always thought like an eagle was my spirit animal. And then in my vision, I'm sitting there and it's like, you know how it's kind of like you're floating in the sea of consciousness or blackness, you know, whatever the setting is. And I'm seeing this owl in a nest and its baby. And this bird of prey, like a falcon or an eagle, comes and snatches the baby away. And I was screaming at the owl. Like I was crying, you know, I'm in there, I'm like pleading, 'cause I don't know what's real, what's not. You know, this vision is happening. And I'm pleading for this owl to turn to see that the eagle is coming to get its baby. And the eagle takes the baby and flies off. And I'm like devastated. I'm crying, you
Oh my
know,
God.
and I'm screaming. So I'm like, why did you let that happen? And it like turns and looks at me. And it's like up in the tree. And it says, I've always known. And then jumps off the tree and swoops down like into my body. And I just remember like that was just, it was like the wings of the owl wrapped around my spirit and like came into me. And it's like, that's the thing that when people say like, what is ayahuasca about? Words are clunky. Like me even saying that, it's not even close to the experience. There's so many experiences that I had when I was down there. And so it's a very experiential
Yes.
type of environment. Like the words don't serve what Aya does, how she serves, how she works. And so when people ask like, what was your experience? It's like, I almost don't want to say anything. I almost want to just say like, if you feel called, go. I don't want you to think about my experience. Because there was, you know, some people had totally different experiences
Yeah.
than me.
Yeah.
You know, some people didn't see anything. You know, some people just, it was all feeling and like flashes of memories or, you know, everyone's different.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, was kind of the wild part is that ayahuasca gives you what you need, not necessarily what you want.
Yep.
I don't know how they came from an owl, but to speak to the animals, yeah. So it's crazy,
That's
man.
a cool experience.
Ayahuasca
Yeah.
is magic. It's magic.
It's magic, yeah.
It'll make you believe in magic. If you go there and you,
We had people come down there and say they didn't believe in God. Said, you know, okay. yeah.
100%, sure.
Yeah. We said drink ayahuasca.
You'll meet.
Have you
Very
ever had
different
someone
after.
very like believing in God, Christian, and then they take it and then it's a whole different type of person of what they think of God after that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, you know, I think a lot of people come down, not a lot. Well, there are people who come down that are very firm in their beliefs, you know, that you can't tell them either way. They know it already. And then they sit down with this plant medicine that shows them a whole new a whole new outlook on life, a whole new vision, a whole new, like they sit there and they had no idea this plant could take them on this journey. Of course it's going to shake things up. You know, of course it's going to. It's your world changes.
I think it takes people out of almost from the some psychedelics I've done. It almost a lot of people go in thinking they know God because they've read this book and
Yes.
they're like, oh, I know who God is. I've done all this learning. But then when you take it, it opens up of like, oh, I have no idea of how big God really is or what He created, and like this little plant can cause this. Who knows what else out there can
Yep,
cause
yep.
anything else?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, do you guys have any other thoughts
Yeah.
or things that are coming up for you that you want to share with the community, the world that we're building here?
We'd love for you guys to come and visit us in the Amazon. We really
Yeah.
would. And you know what? Even if you don't come and visit us, just visit the Amazon. It's like the most magnetic place. I don't know how many people that I've met down there that they decided to visit and they stayed. I'm one of them. You know, like it's a very magical place. There's no other place like it. It's nature, and you're just submerged in it, and you feel like you're in a place of creation, and it's a very beautiful place. It's a place for healing. It's a place for discovery. It's amazing. Just if you ever want to, if you're trying to plan a trip and do something different, that's the place to go.
Magnetic is the word. It is magnetic. Well, hey, how can people find you? I know you mentioned at the top of the show, but if people want to reach out to you guys, what's the easiest way for them to get in contact?
The easiest way to get in contact, you can send us a WhatsApp message. You want me to say the number?
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. So you can send a WhatsApp to Victor because his doesn't change, and his is +51 965 628886. That's his WhatsApp. But you can find us. Ooh, my son. You could find us on Facebook. You could find us on Instagram. Yeah.
And we'll post all the links too.
Yeah, we'll have that.
All the social media and the number and everything. And thank you guys for coming on.
And by the way, what was it that we're giving away? What did you want to?
Yeah. So I brought a few things from the Shipibo community because we work with them and.
Say this like close to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll let Ro say it maybe.
Yeah. He's been itching to get on the microphone.
Right.
By the way, real Jaguar head.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that. So I'm so sorry. There's so many
head.
people that are like listening right now. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So we have for scenery, we have a jaguar skull with boar's head teeth.
Yeah, wild boar pig teeth and
ayahuasca eyes, some sacred stones in the skull. Pretty cool. So if you're listening to this, that's worth just seeing the video. Shipibo mask.
Yeah. So while things have been really rough with COVID and all this border shutdown. So while we're here sharing medicine, I'm also trying to help the Shipibo community over there. So I've been buying things from them and trying to sell it. And there are some things that are really unique and beautiful. So so you guys can do some giveaways.
Yeah.
This is a Shipibo mask. Because, who really wants to wear a mask? But if you want to wear a mask, this one's really nice, and it's hand-sewn and hand-embroidered, and it's beautiful. This is made by one family. This is made by one family in Iquitos. Then there's another family who makes, I don't know where
the families
started.
Make these.
They make these. These are all hand-stitched. It's a nice hat. Like, I haven't seen hats before. Now there's, one family that does hats, and they're great. And then this is a medicine rattle, and it's hand carved. This is what's the name of the fruit?
Wingo.
Wingo. This is the seed of the shell. The shell of the wingo fruit, and they dry it out, and then they carve different things inside. This one has the dolphin, and dolphins are majestic animals, very spiritual animals in the Amazon. But this is a rattle.
Sick.
And it's huge. It's big.
Yeah.
So all you have to do in order to get any one of these things is just share it. With the other episodes, I get it. We're trying to gain exposure, but the reason why we really want to connect with you guys is to share not only what you're doing, but what this medicine is capable of, right? Really reconnect people. And so many people have reached out to me about my journey and learning more about ayahuasca. And so I really appreciate you guys coming on, because now it's hey, I can connect them to you. So the only role I'm playing here is just being a connector to what you guys ultimately have given me a chance to learn about. So past that, if you enjoyed this episode, please like it, subscribe it, and share it with someone you love, someone you don't, and
everybody, just give it out there.
Everyone else. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys. Love you guys.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.